You're thinking about starting an OnlyFans management agency. Right now, there's a huge opportunity in this space. There's over 5 million creators and there's barely any agencies that are actually active. And so the thing is, the supply and demand is insane. There might be maybe 10,000 agencies and maybe 10% of them actually have any clients or even running them properly. So there's a big demand for agencies who actually do this properly, which is what I'm going to show you in this video today. Because competition's low and the demand for good agencies is massive. And so the best part is, unlike most online businesses, this business model doesn't necessarily require cold calling. There's very minimal sales involved, and it's one of the easiest businesses to start, even if you have zero experience or zero capital. You've just got to be someone that's resourceful and hungry, and you can make this business work. Now, I know some of you who are watching might have a lot of money to invest, and maybe you're completely new to business. Maybe this is your first business, maybe this is your third business, maybe you tried dropshipping and everything else like I did, and it didn't work for you. And so if you want to make money online without spending thousands up front, then this video is exactly what you need. And so today I'm actually going to walk you through step by step how to start an OnlyFans agency, land your first few clients, and start making 2K, 5K, 10K, even 100K per month. And I'll also show some real proof from others who I've helped go from 0 to 6 figures a month, myself going from 0 to over $1 million a month, and also models that we've helped get in multiple 6 figures per month. So first things first, what even is an OnlyFans agency? An OnlyFans agency is basically a management and marketing service that helps creators grow their income, attract more fans, and scale their brand, all while handling the business side of things so that they can focus on the content. Think of it like a talent agency for content creators. You're providing them with the strategy, the marketing, and the support to help them monetize their fan base better and also bring in new fans and make them famous. Now, what do you get in return? Typically, agencies work on a percentage basis, meaning that they take a percentage of all the creators' earnings for everything they do on the front and back end of the business. Now, typical agency fees are usually anything from 30% on the low end to 50%. Now, some agencies do take more, up to 70%, depending on the service they offer. But for me personally, with my agency, I take 50-50 of all our models because I believe it's a partnership, not a dictatorship. Now, you can also alternatively offer a retainer, a flat fee. I just think the incentives are more aligned when you are taking a 50-50 split, because then it is a real partnership. And at the end of the day, the business doesn't work without you and it doesn't work without the model. And so you go hand in hand. Now, why is this such a lucrative business model? Firstly, it's high demand and very low competition. There's no big upfront costs. There's recurring revenue every single month. There's no hard selling required, and it's scalable with a team. So if you are a beginner who's looking to make money online without a massive upfront cost of investment, then this video is for you. If you've tried other online businesses, whether it's dropshipping, Forex, e-commerce, or maybe you've tried an agency business model in the past and it hasn't worked, or even if you're someone that started an OnlyFans agency but maybe struggled to sign creators or struggled to get them results, and throughout this video, I'm going to help you understand where most people go wrong. And if you're already making a bit of money with an agency but are wanting to scale this business even further, then I'd recommend just joining my free Skool community that's linked below, or watching my free 16-hour course on YouTube that goes into the depth of how to start and scale an OnlyFans management agency. No strings attached, no bullshit, no upsells. I don't sell a course. The only course I offer is free. And like I said, you can get that in the link in the description, or go and watch my 16-hour free course on YouTube, or do both. But before you do that, especially if you're new, then you want to pay attention to what I'm about to say, because what I'm about to say literally has the ability to change your life forever like it did mine. 6 years ago, I was completely broke. I had no income. I was working a 9-to-5 job. And 6 years later, I've somehow managed to change my entire life. And I'm not special. I'm just a regular ass dude. And I now make over $1 million a month because I picked the right opportunity vehicle. None of the other stuff matters. I'm not smart. I'm not intelligent. I'm not the best business person. I don't work 16 hours a day and grind. I simply just picked the right opportunity vehicle. And that's all you need to do. If you pick the right opportunity vehicle and you apply yourself, I promise you, it's impossible to fail. And let's talk about what's actually happening in the market and what is the true role of an agency and why do most people fail. A lot of people think the models can do everything themselves. But the truth is, most creators struggle with marketing, content, and sales, and they're overwhelmed. And so here's where agencies can add value. Number one, they can drive traffic. And what that looks like usually is helping creators grow on social media and create viral, organic content, because that is the best way to turn a creator from zero to hero. I have scaled multiple models from 0 to 6 figures a month, specifically only through using organic social media content, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok. You don't want to get distracted with all these black hats hat methods and all these little hacks and shiny objects, yeah, it may work for a couple of weeks, but the issue is if you rely on black hat methods, you are fighting in an environment that's not designed for you to win. With organic, you can never lose. And so I would advise you, if you're just starting out, do not fall into the shiny object black hat marketing methods, because that's what's going to keep you stuck. Maybe you have a lucky jump in your income, but best believe it will come back down and you will spend more money, more time, and more energy when it comes to black hat than anything else, and it's just going to be a massive waste. So I would advise you to start, when you look into provide value to models, how do you help them create organic, viral pieces of content on social media to help them grow? All the biggest models in the space, Sophie Rain, Jelly Beans, they don't do black hat marketing. They're not doing dating apps. They're not doing any of that other bullshit. They're simply just getting really good at creating organic content and doing a lot of volume. It's not quality, it's not quantity, it's a mixture of both. If you want to win on social media, that is the key. Now, the second thing is the chat inside of the business. So for example, with my agency, we offer a 24/7 chat-in service, and we treat our chat-in team like a sales team. So we put sales teams on creators' accounts so they can just speak to all the fans and pretty much just rinse all the simps for as much money as possible, because that's the reality of the business. And so 80% of all the revenue is probably going to come from the chat-in if you're really good. And so this is where you can create the most leverage within an agency when it comes to signing creators. So if you prioritize good chat-in and you're not just hiring random VAs from the Philippines to chat for you and never training them, then you can really help creators blow their income ceiling up from doing this. Now, the third thing that agencies can actually help with is the stress that creators face when doing all this content, whether it be social media, whether it be on the OnlyFans side. You can actually help them with stress and time management to make their life as easy as possible. That's what we want to do as an agency. Most of our creators spend no more than 6 hours a week creating content. They just bulk create all their content in 2 or 3 days, and then they're good, they can chill, they can live life, they've got time freedom, financial freedom, and location freedom. And so that's where you want to aim. If you can get your creators' workload down to 6 hours a month, I mean, it is the best job in the world. We've got multiple creators making over $50,000 a month, simply just working 6 hours a month. We just super strategic. We'll bulk create hundreds of pieces of content in that 6 hour time period, spread over 3 days. And that's all we need. It's a game changer. Pick the 3 days every month, record the content that our creative directors got for us, and you're good to go. Now, there's a lot of common misconceptions when it comes to OnlyFans management, and also with every other business model. You're always going to hear people saying, oh, it's too saturated, blah, 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 which is completely bullshit, right? And the thing is to understand about saturation is actually a good thing. All saturation means is that the market's growing. And Alex Hormozi said this in his book, $100 Million Offers. Why would you want to grow a business in a market that's not saturated, in a market that's not growing? Because growing a business is already hard enough. Trust me, I've done it multiple times. And so if you want to try and grow a business in a blue ocean or in an untapped market, it's going to be extremely difficult. There's a reason that all the biggest businesses are in saturated markets, because they grow in year on year. And OnlyFans grows at over 70% per month, which is insane. There's over 6 million creators on the platform, like I said, and maybe 1,000 agencies actually doing anything, maybe 10,000 agencies. So the supply and demand is absolutely ridiculous, and the opportunity is crazy. That's all you need is a few creators, and your life can change overnight. For me, for example, I worked with one OnlyFans creator for 2 years, and I took it from zero to $230,000 a month, and I was taking 50%. So I was making over 100 grand a month for 2 years as a fucking 19-year-old, like in Wales. Like, it was insane. And all I did was help her with content and put a sales team to chat through on her account. And that was it. And so, like, you don't even need to overcomplicate it. You don't need to scale to 200 plus models like I've got now. You can keep it super simple, super lean, and if that's what you want to do, you're good to go. I know multiple people that have no more than 5 models, and they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month because they put all their time, effort, and energy into that. Now, if you want to decrease your risk exposure, then you might want to look to scale horizontally as well as vertically. And you can do that by implementing what I call an ABC system, which is something that we created. I'm not going to get into that today because I don't want to overwhelm you. But again, if you go watch my 16-hour free course, or you go join my free Skool community, or you go and look at some of my other videos, and once you get into the space, you'll start to understand what there is and why it is an absolute game changer if you run an OnlyFans agency. Now, another misconception is you need a budget to start, which is completely false. Like, the issue is, like, most poor people rely on resources, right? They think you need resources to be successful. But the reality is, all the successful people I know actually don't rely on resources, but they rely on being resourceful, right? And that's the difference. You do not need money to start most of these online businesses. You just need to be a resourceful person. And so I literally started with less than $1,000 in my account.
And like I said, now I make over $1 million a month. You can just simply find one model, help it with traffic, help it with the chat, and even if you need to do the chatting yourself to start, like just do it and get enough money to reinvest to go and get a chatting team and so on and so forth and scale as you go on. But you do not need money to start. You just need a phone, an Instagram account, and you need to have the ability to send messages to models. That's it. Now, the next thing I want to say is this is not like some shady business. People are like, oh, it's, you know, is this online pimps, blah, 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 blah. Complete bullshit. Those people have no idea about how professional this industry actually is and what we actually do and what we offer and what goes on behind the scenes. You're literally providing marketing and management services, just like talent agencies do for influencers and so on. Now, another misconception I want to kill before we get into the meats and potatoes of this video is that, oh, it's passive income. A lot of people think that they can just sign models and sit back, but that is not the reality. If anyone is selling you that, they're probably selling you a 997 course. And trust me, you don't want to listen to those people. It is a lot of work. That's how it works. If you want to make money, if you want to actually be elite in this space, you're going to have to put in more work than everyone. So if you're a stranger to work and you don't want to work hard, then go and buy some Forex Guru's course and do something else because this business is for you. If you're a stranger to hard work, you don't want to put in the time, you don't want to put in the energy, then trust me, go and do something else, but you're probably not going to succeed anyway because anyone saying it's passive income, it's this and that, are just trying to sell you some bullshit. And the last misconception I want to kill is that it's hard to sign models. That is complete bullshit. There's over 5 million creators on OnlyFans, over 1,000 new creators join the platform every week. Last time I checked, it's probably even more than that now. And over 500,000 new users sign up to OnlyFans every single day, which means the supply and demand is unlike any other business. And it's not hard to sign models if you follow the strategies that I'm going to talk about in this video and in all my other content. Because the reason most people struggle is because they just spam models with all these big spammy messages and they have really bad profiles, they're not optimized, and they just try and sell them their service. So if you are going to sit there and spam the same generic messages of every other agency and you're going to position yourself as just another agency, it's not going to work out for you. I'll give you a little secret. I don't even position myself as an agency owner. I don't even position myself as running an OnlyFans management agency, even though that's what I do. Because I know that creators are used to seeing that. And so I need new stimuli that wants them to get into my funnel, into my marketing funnel, so I can sell them on my service. Now let's talk about where the industry is going and why it's still a massive opportunity. There's more creators on the platform than ever before. There's more money being spent on the platform than ever before. And AI and automation is really changing the game. You can automate your model's content now. You can do tons of crazy shit with AI. Even creating AI models, which I'm not going to get to in this video, but that's also something that we're doing, which is absolutely crushing right now. So if this video gets enough likes, enough views, enough comments, then maybe I'll make another video on how we actually create AI OnlyFans models and how we're taking them from zero to over $50,000 a month on FanView with completely AI generated models, which is insane. But again, that's not for this video. You can do both, and it is the best of both worlds. Now, when it actually comes to running the agency, there's a couple things you need to consider in terms of choosing the business model that you want to adopt. Now, the options you've got when it comes to selecting what type of business and what type of agency you want to run is going to be, firstly, do you want to do a percentage split? So do you want to do a 50-50 partnership? Do you want to do a flat fee? Maybe just a one-off payment, retainer, for example, you know, $3,000 a month. Or maybe you want to do a hybrid where you do a small retainer, like $1,000 a month plus 30%. That's up to you. That's something that you can come to a decision to. I would recommend doing a 50-50 split just because it makes it more of a partnership like I mentioned previously. Now, the other side of the business that you need to consider is whether you want to start running freemium or paid strategies. So when it comes to the actual OnlyFans account, I would decide on one thing and get good at one thing, keep it simple rather than doing both. So just to give you some context, on OnlyFans, there's free pages and paid pages. Now, as an agency, I wouldn't recommend managing models that have paid pages and free pages, or, you know, some models do free, some models do paid. I would pick one thing, specialize in it, and be really good at it. So do you want to run an agency that specifically works with models that have free pages, or do you want to run an agency that specifically works with models that have paid pages? That way you can dial in your strategies, keep it simple, and just keep the main thing the main thing. Now, both of these strategies work. There's not one or the other. If any other guru tells you, oh my God, freemium is the best or paid's the best, it's complete bullshit. Like, they all work extremely well. There's a third option, which is no PPV, but we're not going to talk about that in this video, and I wouldn't recommend just because it can get too complex and you need a lot of traffic to actually make it work. So us as agencies, how do we make money? Well, we make money from driving traffic to models' pages, then monetizing it on the back end through subscriptions and through chatting. Now, if you're running a free page, then you're not going to have subscriptions, so you're going to make all of your money from the chatting and selling the PPV content. So where do you actually find models? Now, the best places to go is going to be going to websites like OnlyFinder, where you can filter by location, filter by ethnicity, filter by age, whatever you want to do to find a list of all these models that you can literally reach out to. Now, you're going to need an Instagram account, and you can do outreach on Instagram. You can do outreach on TikTok. You can do outreach on Twitter. You can do outreach on Reddit, Facebook, wherever you want to do. It doesn't really matter. I would recommend Instagram as it's the best platform to do cold outreach on. And this is just the start. We're not going to talk about ads or any of this other fancy paid stuff, because I want to be able for you to get your foot in the door, to just get your first client. And once you've got your first client, we can worry about all the other stuff. But today I just want to keep it super simple. I would recommend specifically getting a really good profile optimized on Instagram and just focusing on that and doing outreach on Instagram. Now, in the meantime, while you are doing cold outreach on Instagram, you could also be working on an inbound system. So like I'm recording this YouTube video right now to get inbound leads, you can do the same thing when it comes to finding models. So start creating content, start putting yourself out there, or find someone to partner with to do it for you, whether it's an influencer, whether it's a friend. They can be the face, you can be the operator, or vice versa. And if you start creating content in relation to helping OnlyFans models, you'll get people reaching out to you. So that's inbound and outbound. Those are both free methods that you can use to get your first client. Now, when it comes to the best outreach scripts, you can go and watch one of my other videos called The Only Way to Do Cold Outreach. I'll link it somewhere on here. I'll pop her up. You can go and watch that after this video. And that is going to be an entire video dedicated to how to actually do cold outreach in an effective way to be able to land your first or next client. Now, there's some red flags to avoid when signing models if you're going to be running organic content in specific. Now, if you're going to do other stuff, then it doesn't necessarily ignore these red flags. But if you're going to run the way I scaled my agency to over $1 million a month, then red flags to avoid is going to be, firstly, low quality models. People that don't already have content, people that don't want to show their face, models that, you know, escape, like not all in. If a model's not all in, like she's kind of on the edge about whether she actually wants to do OnlyFans, maybe she's asking you things like, can you hide it from my family? Can you block certain countries? Do I have to show my face? Blah, 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 blah. I would advise staying away from working with those models, because it's just going to cause you a ton of headaches, and you're just going to end up wasting time, wasting money, and you ideally want to be working with a creator that is leveraged, right? Now, another red flag as well is when it comes to like the entitlement, right? Entitlement of, oh, I don't want to do a 50-50 split, I'm better than that, blah, 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 blah. Like, if a creator is giving you that sort of energy, then for me, I would just stay away. Not worth working. If they don't understand the value that you provide for the 50-50 split, then again, no point working with those types of creators. Those are the main red flags to look for. There's a lot of others, but those are the main things. Like, you've got other stuff like taking ages to reply, not making the content on time, like being lazy. Like, they're probably not gonna do well. But again, that's where the ABC system comes in, which again is a topic for another video. So once you're able to sign models, you've watched my outreach video, you know how to sign models, the next step is gonna be onboarding them, right? So you're gonna need legal agreements in place. Again, you can get the legal agreements in my free 16-hour course. You're also gonna wanna get good at setting expectations. Do not sell them the dream and not be able to deliver. Set realistic expectations, especially when it comes to organic content, that this could take 4 to 6 weeks to really get going, depending on where the creator's actually at. So onboarding creators is as simple as cool. You reach out to them on Instagram, they've agreed to jump on a call, or you can close them over text, wherever you want to do. Once they've jumped on the call, once you've closed them over text, you send them an agreement, they sign the agreement, 50-50 split, then onboard them, maybe you add them to a WhatsApp group or a Telegram group, wherever you want to do. I'd recommend either or, and then you go from there. And now you actually have to start delivering your service. The easy part's done. Now you've actually got to deliver on what you've sold. So what that looks like is now we're looking at the actual OnlyFans management side of the business. So managing the OnlyFans account, getting all the content you need for the OnlyFans, making sure it's good, getting all the scripts, getting all the PPVs content, which allows you to just maximize the amount of revenue coming in from all the subscribers that you're going to be bringing from driving traffic through organic content. Again, this is just an overview. I'm not going to get into the deep strategies. If you want to understand the deep strategies, again, go and join my free Skool community or go and watch my 16-hour free course. So chat and fan engagement, maybe at the start you want to chat just to get an understanding, so then you can hire friends or hire people from the Philippines to chat for you, but you're gonna make sure that they're being trained and they know how to sell and how to sext. Because again, that's where 80% of the money is gonna come from. Once you've got the chat and stuff down, you've got the OnlyFans accounts optimized, you've got all the content that you need, then you're gonna obviously wanna look at the actual funnel. So, you know, are you gonna be driving traffic specifically from Instagram? At the start, I'd focus on one thing. So like, for example, just Instagram, then having a link in the bio to, for example, a link tree or get all my links that goes directly to OnlyFans. That's going to be the funnel. So make sure the funnel's optimized. If the creators you're working with are new or already have OnlyFans, make sure that the link in their bio is like a get all my links. So it's like a cloaked link, because otherwise they're going to get banned. Instagram is going to flag the account. The content's not going to do well. And just make sure that there's only one link in the bio. So you'll see a lot of creators that have a get all my links or a link tree, and there's a million things on there. There's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's go to my YouTube, there's go to my Patreon, there's go to my Snapchat. Make sure that there's one link to keep the funnel super simple. So when a subscriber sees the content that you're posting, they go click the link. They have the only option they have is to go to OnlyFans to either subscribe or not subscribe. Now, when it comes to the actual content creation side, the easiest way to do it, if you just want an easy hands-off, like bare minimum, basic content strategy, you can use something like Trend Hunter. I've actually got an affiliate link in the bio with Trend Hunter. You get like a big percentage off, and like it's a really good deal that only the people watching this video get. It's a platform that finds viral content in the OnlyFans niche for you that you can just literally send to your creators for them to copy, replicate, and then repost on their Instagram so they go viral. That's the easiest way to do it. If you want more advanced, like organic viral content strategies, again, you can either go watch my organic traffic masterclass, you can join my free school, or again, you can watch my free course. When it comes to marketing the creators, you always want to go for that girl next door vibe, as that is what performs the best. Not too sexual, not too explicit. Girl next door content performs the best, and you can use Trend Hunter to find these types of content that you want to actually send to your creators to replicate. Once you've got the chat in dialed, once you've got the content dialed, the next things that you want to be doing is then you want to figure out, okay, now it's time to delegate, now it's time to automate. You can start to hire people, you can start to use CRMs, all this other stuff. Once you've got the organic traffic, the account optimized, and you've got the chat and stuff dialed, next, you want to figure out how to actually automate so you can remove yourself and be sipping pina coladas on the beach while your agency makes money for you, just like me. Although I don't drink alcohol, so it doesn't really count, but I mean, same thing. So automating the workload, whether you want to start using CRM tools like Inflow, again, I got an affiliate link in the description for Inflow. It's a must use. I'm not shilling you shitty affiliate products. Like, these are things that I actually use in my $1 million a month agency, and I would not be recommending them if they wasn't good and I didn't use them myself. And also not just myself, but all my students and all my clients use the same things because they are necessary if you want to make more money. I'd recommend using Inflow from the get-go. It is a must, no-brainer. It's going to help you manage all your clients. It's going to help you make more money from the chat, and it is amazing. It's such a good software that is so necessary if you want to run an agency. And again, Trend Hunter also just makes your life so much easier in terms of finding organic viral content for you. The first and easiest hire is always going to be hiring stuff like VAs to do the repetitive, mundane stuff that you don't necessarily want to be doing on a day-to-day basis, but you're not going to start there. And again, we're not going to get too much into the strategies of each specific thing in this video. I just want to give you an overview of what this looks like so you can make a decision whether you actually want to start by far the best online business right now. It is the easiest. And why would you want to make it hard on yourself? Like, it doesn't make sense. Be where the easy money is. A couple of other things to consider once you've got all this stuff in place is going to be scaling the agency. So that's going to be building SOPs, streamlining operations, decentralizing yourself, delegating work to other people, starting to build a team. So that's going to be hiring and training people, whether it's chatters, chatting managers, account managers, relationship managers, creative directors. You know, at my scale, it can get really advanced. But again, not to worry about that right now. You just want to focus on getting your one first client and making money with her so you can understand the entire business, you can understand the entire process, so then you can actually scale and replicate that process over and over again. Once you've found your first client, you've dialed in the strategy, and you've got her making money, it's easy. It's just about replicating that over and over and over again. And last thing I want to touch on is just make sure you got the legal side dialed in when it comes to agreements. If you want a good legal agreement, I'll leave a legal document in the description. Use it at your own discretion. Like, if you want to, I would ideally, like, you know, go speak to a lawyer or wherever. Like, I'm not advising you to use it. It's just a template. It's just a legal template. Like, I'm not saying it's going to be good for you, but you can get that. Go watch my video on outreach. Go get a model. Figure that out. Go watch my course. Go do some research. Go, like, get educated, but don't get stuck in that mental masturbation phase. Like, it's fine. Watch this video. Understand the business model. Go watch my free course. Everything you need is in the free course. Like, the outreach video I'm talking about is all included in that free course. So go watch that. Once you've watched that, then just start doing. Right? Don't continue to just consume all my content. Like, even if you want to consume my content, hey, it helps me. But I would advise, watch this video, get an understanding, go watch the free course. Once you've watched that, then just go fucking implement, right? Like, just go implement. The best people move fast, they implement. And so if you want to succeed in this space, you've just got to implement. So get the basic foundational knowledge, the basic understanding. Don't try and perfect it. Don't be perfect. Just fucking start. Once you've just got it downloaded in your brain, just go and run the play. You're not going to know what you're doing. That's the point, right? Dive into the deep end, just get an understanding, a broad understanding, doesn't have to be specialist, and then just go start doing shit. And that's how you're actually going to learn and figure out, oh, I remember that. Stuff's going to start clicking. Stuff that you heard in the course is going to be like, oh shit, I remember when Dylan said that. That makes sense. This is where I'm at right now. Okay, cool. And you can always come back to the course as well when you're doing it, right? So once you've got all of this dialed in, the last thing you want to worry about to actually obviously make money is making sure that you can actually collect money from the creators, right? So that is just going to be sending out invoices or putting your bank details on their OF so you can just get direct bank transfers to yourself. Or if you want to use adult payment processors, if you want to use Stripe, whatever you want to do at your own discretion. Again, you can find out all this information on my free course of what actual payment processor to use. But the last step is really just collecting that payment. I would ideally recommend collecting payment every single week. That way you don't leave it too long and you don't have the issue of maybe models, working with you for a month and then not paying at the end and you have to chase them up and it's this whole thing, right? So I ideally collect every single week, and if they miss a payment or they don't pay, get them gone, right? Like, you don't want to leave it and give them the benefit of the doubt, because you will end up just losing money, right? Now, the good thing is, it's a service, so you're not necessarily going to lose money. You'll just lose the time that you've invested and the energy, but you don't want to be doing that. So just make sure you've got a good way to collect payments, and that's all you need to know. So just a quick little recap. You want to pick the type of strategy you want to use, whether it's the freemium strategy or the paid strategy when it comes to the OnlyFans account. Then you want to be able to onboard those creators, sign them up. Then you want to be able to market them, chat for them, and then you want to automate, delegate, scale, and make sure you can collect payment. And that is pretty much it. So go watch my free course to get a better understanding of everything I'm talking about in this video. This is the best opportunity. If you're watching this video, you are truly blessed. So hopefully you found value in this video today. I gotta go and be busy and shoot some content with a bunch of models. So I guess, yeah, I'll see you at the top.